Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jeremy here at ExtremeWeatherTracker.com, updating your tropical weather at 1:15 p.m. on September the 6th, 2011. We are just 4 days away from the peak of the hurricane season on September the 10th, and as you can see by the graphic on my screen, that the National Hurricane Center is very busy with all colors of crayons here on their national graphical tropical weather outlook. We have the system in the Bay of Campeche at 30%. We have Hurricane Katia, which is a very powerful hurricane heading to the northwest. We have an area of disturbed weather associated with a tropical wave here just to the east of the Lesser Antilles, and we have Invest 95L located to the south and west of the Cape Verde Islands. Now let's dive into these today. You can see on the satellite imagery here. Let's start with Hurricane Katia, which is a very powerful hurricane. The hurricane hunters are currently flying into the system, and I wanted to show you guys that graphic. As you can see here, the center fix is right here, 963 millibars, and they're finding plenty of winds to support the 115 mile per hour advisory that just got initiated here a little while ago. She has been a little bit weaker today, and that is due to a eye wall replacement cycle that she has undergone, but she is moving off to the northwest and should recurve between the United States and Bermuda. Actually a best case scenario, not really affecting Bermuda, not hitting them too hard, just with some gusty winds and probably some rip currents and some high surf and possibly some gusty winds here on the Outer Banks and even further northward at Cape Cod. But she is forecasted to make this northward turn and then northeast out to sea, and I'll show you the models for her. Here's the models for Katia. As you can see, located here is Bermuda, and then of course here's the Outer Banks that Hurricane Irene hit so hard here a week or so ago, and you can see most of the models are in fairly good agreement, taking her on a northwest turn, then a north turn, then bringing her northeastward and recurving her well to the east of the United States, just basically affecting these areas with some rip currents and some high surf. So Katia should be no threat to land at this time. We believe she won't be a threat at all. So that's good news for the United States. Now going back to the visible, we also have this, you see the remnants of Lee here along the old frontal boundary that got pushed out into the Gulf of Mexico, and this burst of convection located here in the Bay of Campeche is an area that we need to watch over the next several days, possibly for a development. Now, if we go to the Gulf of Mexico satellites, you can see the old frontal boundary here firing a lot of convection, and just to the west of the Yucatan we have a concentrated area of showers and thunderstorms that's trying to get going. Water temperatures are very warm in this area, although dry air will be a problem that's getting pushed in off of Texas. Although this system should become a little bit better organized over the next few days. It's currently at 30% chance development, and I believe it will drift off to the north and east, possibly impacting the central or eastern Gulf Coast, somewhere around the Florida Panhandle to New Orleans area sometime over the next few days. This is something we'll have to watch. All of the models are pretty much jumping on this and then bringing it up to the northeast. The high pressure system over Texas should keep it from going into Texas. It should drift along into the mean break in the ridges between the Azores Ridge and the Texas Death Ridge that's setting over Texas. So this shouldn't be a problem for Texas, although we could use the rain, but we will have to watch this for development in this area as it moves up into this area of the world. This could be a surprise later on in the week. Now going back to the tropical Atlantic wide view, we see that we have Invest 95L located here just to the southwest of the Cape Verde Islands. Currently has a 90% chance of developing as this moves to the west-northwest over the next few days, and I do believe that this will be named sometime later today, maybe tomorrow. If it gets named, this will be Nate. No, pardon me, this would be Maria, and then if this is later than 95L, this would be Nate here. So who will be Nate and Maria? We will see. I believe this will probably be Maria. This will be Nate in the coming days, and this should move off to the west-northwest. Now if we dive into the models for this, you can see most of the models indeed take it on a west-northwest fashion, just to the north of the Lesser Antilles here, just north of the Leeward Islands in Puerto Rico, and then heading it toward the Bahamas. Now, some of these models actually want to recurve this in a similar fashion to Katia, but we will see what happens. It's a little too early out to trust these models, as the ridging that will be in place. It's a little bit too early to be exactly sure how strong that ridging will be. So definitely the northern Leeward Islands and Puerto Rico should be watching this closely over the next few days, as you could be experiencing tropical storm force conditions coming up in 3 or 4 days here, as this possibly Maria at that time will make its closest pass to you guys and then move on off to the west-northwest. Final path will be determined at a later date. I don't want to get into that right now, as it would just be pure speculation at this point. But we do believe that it will get north of the Leeward Islands, although the European has been stubbornly bringing it into the Caribbean as a weak system. So we'll see exactly what happens if the European model pans out, or if it does indeed follow the rest of the consensus and makes it north of the islands. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is this little area right here. You see this blow up of convection, showers and thunderstorms located just to the east of the Leeward Islands. And if we go out to the back to the tropical Atlantic weather outlook, you can see that this is put at 10% chance of developing. This is a tropical wave in here that's just firing some convection in here, and the National Hurricane Center only gives it a 10% chance of developing. Dry air is fairly prominent in this area, as well as some shear, so we'll have to keep an eye on it, but I don't really feel like this will be a problem. But as you can see, the tropical Atlantic is very active, as it should be, this close to the peak of the hurricane season, and should continue to be active over the next several days as we reach the peak and then start the decline. So we'll see who gets named first. Will 95L be Maria? Will the system in the Bay of Campeche be Maria or Nate? We will see over the next couple of days, and we'll keep updating as these systems move toward land. Right now, Katia appears no threat to land. 95L will possibly have to be watched as a threat to land, and if the system in the Bay of Campeche develops and starts to move northeastward, it definitely will be a threat to land. So we have a lot to talk about this week. The tropics are very active, and everyone should keep their guard up, have their hurricane preparations in place. Once again, this is Jeremy here at ExtremeWeatherTracker.com. I'll see you all again soon.